Yeah, man. Shout out Crib Talk. Shout out ILD Squad. Hey, I'm here. I'm repping for the Bulls. I'm trying to take y'all farther with the options trading. Let me know. Holla at me.
Welcome to South Florida. Yeah. Welcome to South Florida. Welcome to South Florida.
All right, man. It's D here with Crib Talk. Sitting here with EJ. EJ, former Miami Northwestern quarterback, former. Where you went to JUCO
at? Pasadena, California.
Pasadena, out of Pasadena. What was the name of school?
Pasadena.
It was Pasadena?
Yeah. Pasadena.
Then he went to Kentucky.
Yeah.
University of Kentucky. Rapper, now trader. Shout out to ILD Squad, man. And now trader, man, know more about options than anybody I know. We'll get into all that talk. But EJ was one of those guys that never grew like his dad. You got a brother that's what? How tall Twan is?
Like 6'2".
6'2". Your dad's like what? 6'2".
6'2 and a half.
6'2".
Yeah.
Then EJ comes along and gets stuck at what? 5'8",
5'9", good day.
But one of the smartest, most talented athletes I ever saw, and it goes all the way back to like Bunch Park. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
How did it start? You didn't start playing quarterback, right?
No, I started out playing defensive back and tight end. Yeah, that was my first position.
What was the philosophy of you playing tight end?
Catching a pop pass, mostly.
Pop pass. They don't even know pop passes no more.
Nah, not no more.
And then somebody switched you to quarterback. You remember what happened?
We had a dude named Thomas who was playing quarterback that year. He ended up getting hurt. So, I played baseball as a pitcher, so they ended up throwing me out there at quarterback, and, rest is history.
And from quarterback, you won Super Bowl when you was in football?
Yeah, 110s.
110s?
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. 85s, my bad.
Who you had on your team?
Man, it was little Duke. He actually played at Norland. Not Duke Johnson. It was another little Duke. A couple other players, Jason Reed, Taylor, all of them played at Norland. Yeah. It was a lot of Norland players.
When you was at Bunch Park, right? Your dad was the president of Bunch Park.
Yeah.
You was out there when Naquan got shot and all. You was there with Father?
Nah, I was in high school. That was a little later.
Teddy Bridgewater you was there. With Teddy was there.
Teddy,
and some people came through Bunch Park.
Yeah, Teddy, Kayvon, Sean Spence. You got
James Cook.
You got Kimbrell Tompkins. He came there a couple years.
Right.
You got Kenny Phillips,
Kenny Phillips came through?
I think he played there for like 1 year.
Like 1 year, I believe. Kenny was at Bunch Park?
But mainly I think he was at Carol City. Though.
Yeah? Yeah. Bunch Park was like one of the premier parks then. And then the whole Naquan thing happened, which was tragic. And they shut the park down. And a lot of those players ended up going to North Day, Scott Park, scattered around. Right. But it's back now. You left Bunch Park as a quarterback, right?
Right.
Went to Northwestern and did something that a lot of kids ain't gonna do today. You went to Northwestern and just sat there and was like, listen, bro, I'm gonna get a year or half a year. I'm gonna get my turn gonna come.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my turn gonna come. And what was your thought process? Because kids not waiting these days. These kids transferring. I seen the kids transfer to 3 schools this year. Yeah.
Okay.
I saw him on the sideline at one school and it was like I saw a ghost. I was like, dog, how are you wearing this uniform?
Yeah.
3 different schools. What was your thought process when you were sitting there waiting to play at Northwestern?
Well, funny story, man. So my 9th grade year, I was actually still playing 135s. Told my dad I wanted to quit. He wasn't happy with that, obviously. So the first day of school, I actually went to try out for JV, which they never let anybody do that. You already got to be there during the summer.
Right.
So the coaches put me through all these little funny plays. First play, it's just me in the center. They spread everybody out wide. Just to see if I really wanted to be there, you know what I'm saying? But completed the pass and all that. A dude named LeBron, big DN that we had, tore my head off when I got up. So from that moment, it was like, okay, this kid might have something. And at that time,
what were they trying to improve?
When I got to the Western 9th grade, I was 4'11". Yeah, I was a little shorty. But
was Tim Brown there?
He was already in Boston.
How tall was he?
Probably a little taller.
Tim Brown was taller than you,
though. He was a little taller. Yeah. But through the years, like I always knew that I had the intangibles as a quarterback. Like, like as you mentioned, my smarts just took me to the next level.
Right.
And thankfully with Coach Perk, when he came there my 11th grade year, taught me a different part of the game. Like I knew that was gonna be my moment. So I hung in there. Now I did have a scholarship to go to Northwest Christian.
Yeah.
My 9th and 10th grade year, but I turned that down too because the tradition and the history at the West.
Right.
Yeah.
So you were sitting there waiting, right?
Mm-hmm.
You never thought transfer?
Nah. No.
The thought process was what? I'm gonna one day be the Northwestern quarterback?
That was the plan.
And you didn't care if it was only 1 year?
I didn't care.
Were you thinking about college at that time?
You just not really. I was mainly thinking about starting at the West.
Finest girl in school as soon as I became
a
quarterback.
You wasn't about the women either. Listen, man. I the same way Teddy say he put his playbook on Madden, same way I did it. That's how I learned everything.
Talk to me about that.
So basically, with back then on the old man, you can set up your playbook, so you can put whatever playbook that you actually had, create the routes and everything. So eventually, once Coach Perk taught me how to truly read the defense, the defense could never be right. Man, it was game over.
I talk about this all the time, and I ask people this, and they think I'm crazy when I be like, "How can a quarterback not read the defense when they play Madden every day?"
Mm-hmm.
And people say it's not the same. You just said because we're gonna break this down for people who are not following what we're saying. You just said you took your real playbook.
Mm-hmm.
This how much passion and this man had for the sport. You took your real playbook and you created it on Madden.
Right.
So every time your quarterback dropped back, it's almost as if you were seeing what you were seeing in the game.
Right. Right.
So, okay, we're going to get deep into this, man.
All right, let's do it.
So what was the defense doing on Madden? Was it doing some of the same things you would see in the game?
Yeah, so basically you would look at the schemes. The first thing you always do is read the safeties.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if it's always two safety, the only thing that they can do is roll down and cover 3.
Right.
Or roll down and play man or something like that. So once you understand that philosophy of the defense can never be right. Ever.
This man was in the metaverse. This man was in virtual. He had to put the VR glasses on. Because think about it. If you manipulated the play, the defense has to show you a look on Madden.
Got to.
And the look, what you were seeing was a real look.
Real look.
It wasn't nothing like
it's computerized.
2 defense in.
Yeah, it's computerized. So even if they ran like the 6 down, well, it's really a 4-2, and they bring the 2 linebackers inside, which a lot of defenses like to do.
Yeah.
Now, okay, as a quarterback, I slide the line, make that man the hot route, game over.
EJ, listen, I've been saying this over and over that how is a quarterback leaving high school and can't read a defense when you can go to Madden, even if it's you can go to Madden, play quarterback, and see 11 people. You know what I'm saying? The concepts are there.
Yeah.
But I just think some people mind don't work like our mind work. Like,
right.
You got to be a thinker, I guess. So once you did that, you just was trying to perfect the craft. You weren't even thinking about your turn and.
Nah, that was it. Because even when Chauncey was playing quarterback, my 11th grade year, he always used to say, "Man, like, I know you ready," but at that time, we had different coaches. So their philosophy was we wanted to run and quarterback, which I never really flexed my running skills until I got to college. Hindsight, if I would have done that, I probably would have been what Lamar has today.
but I remember why. Tell the people why you didn't run as a quarterback.
I could. I just really wanted to showcase that I can throw the ball no matter what my height was.
Because that was the stigma. The stigma was if you're a running quarterback, first they're gonna call you a dual threat quarterback.
Right.
And then they're gonna they start calling you that, they start acting as if you can't throw the ball.
Put you in the box. Yeah.
The game has changed. You agree?
Yeah.
Right. Now college coaches are looking for somebody who can scramble for a first down on third down.
Right.
And it's always as if they were just ignoring it back then.
Yeah.
Because it was the same shit.
Same. Because look at what Tutu Atwell did at his 4 years at the West. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Me and him identical height.
Right.
He ran a lot more than I did. So his game film and just, I guess, his philosophy of how they think he saw the game elevated him to make it to how far he got.
What do you think Tutu Atwell had that you didn't have?
Exposure. That's it.
I didn't think you were gonna say that.
Exposure. I mean, because if you think about
that was a brilliant
how nowadays look at every game is for everybody to see.
Yeah.
Back then, it was only you had your game film, which you had to then make a highlight for.
And then get it in somebody's
Then
hands.
get into somebody's hand.
Right.
YouTube wasn't as prevalent as it is today.
Right.
So
So you think you were as fast as Tutu Atwell was? You think you?
I got game speed. I won't say I was as fast. I got game
So if you lined up a race in the 40 back then, it'd be a close race.
My fastest 40 time was 4:41. So I don't know what his was.
I knew he was gonna be successful because every time they would go to the Nike camp, stuff like that, he couldn't beat. There was no way he was going to beat Campbell and the kid from Auburn, right? In the fastest man. There wasn't a kid named from Auburn. He was in the league now.
I don't know.
We'll put it at the bottom or something. But yeah, he's the fast. He's Olympic fast. Okay. Now he played for Denver, I think. Now he's the wide receiver for Denver now. There was no way Tutu Atwell was going to ever beat them at a camp, but he would win something.
Right.
Shuttle run. He was going to win something. So I knew he was his athleticism. I knew he was superb when it came to speed, and it just had to convert to wide receiver.
Right.
The crazy part was that the man went to college and looked like he still didn't lift weights, and still is in the league.
Yeah.
That is a thing that he has that people always say, well, Tutu Atwell made it. Bro, listen, man. We're talking about top of the top. We talk, so you can't, the 1%, you can't say, yeah, the 1% made it.
Right,
this man's a superhero.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a superhero. Like, he's 150 pounds, soaking wet, and he can catch the ball in the middle of the field, and the safety never touch him. So yeah, you can't really compare yourself to that. You got to show me a bunch of those.
Right.
I can't think of the wide receiver name. Schwartz. Yeah, Anthony Schwartz. I think he's at Denver now.
Okay.
That's who Tutu Atwell would always have to race with. So he would never win that, but he would win something.
Right.
So athletically, I knew he would convert, and I don't think he ever wanted to play quarterback. I think he always wanted to play, but they needed him at quarterback.
Best athlete at quarterback most times.
Right.
Yeah.
So I remember coming down here, man, because I was in North Carolina when he was playing to see Willie. Carol City played Northwestern at Stadium, and you were on the sideline. What year was this? You wasn't playing. You wasn't dressed.
Nah, 10th grade.
So you was a 10th grader.
10th grade. Yeah.
Okay, so I was assuming that you was gonna get the ball next year, and I was just assuming that. I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? But I got to see Willie Williams play that night.
Right.
And I was like, thank God my cuz wasn't on the field. Carol City had a serial killer with a helmet on out there, bro.
Man.
And it looked, I was afraid for people kids. I'm not lying. I was afraid for people kids because he was roaming like James Williams would roam. And he just would be anywhere and everywhere. And he wasn't, it was not taking it lightly when he was. Did y'all win a game?
Yeah, remember, we was undefeated that year until we met them again in the playoffs.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So y'all had the running back, right? What his name was? Y'all had
Terry Perry.
yeah.
But then he got hurt.
Yeah.
And then Kevin Moy had to step in.
Who's the quarterback?
Cedric Miller.
Yeah, I was I worked with his mom, two twins. His mom was a twin, Perry. So y'all beat them bad that night, or?
And that score, I think it was 21-0, I think.
Yeah?
I don't think they scored that game.
Real. Man, but listen, bro, I was just happy you wasn't on the field. Cause we ain't O-line like that down in South Florida. Like, I was just happy he wasn't on the field, because he was
different.
No, he was definitely different. So your junior year, do you play?
I was holding field goals.
Man, just patiently waiting on his turn for one of the most talented quarterbacks in Dade County. Would you say that?
Yeah, for sure.
And you just
holding field goals. Hey, that's how it goes, though. Yeah, plenty of times, man. Cause Chauncey was an athlete, right?
Right.
So you needed that year. You needed people to get the ball to athletes' hands. So, you know, we had him. We still had Tim Brown. We had Kimbrell Tompkins. We had Mario Ulysses.
Yeah.
So imagine if you would have also put Chauncey in the slot, me at quarterback. Come on.
So what was the Northwestern fans saying? Did they know me yet? Did they know?
Nah, they ain't know me.
They didn't know?
Nah, they didn't know me.
But you guys were good, right? As long as y'all good, they not gonna say nothing.
Yeah.
It's only when things start going bad, they become, them fans become really, really smart, and they're really, really violent. Why didn't they put you in? The coaches knew, right?
I mean, they knew that I had accuracy and stuff like that. But like I said, it was just a different era for the West at that period. So we needed a running quarterback. Like I said, I never flexed those running skills, so they never saw that part.
Yeah.
And at that point, I still think it was like that Liberty City, Pop Warner vibe of these are the people who need to start at the West versus I don't really
politics.
know this guy. Yeah,
Politics. I talked to Najee about this a lot, about being humble and quiet.
right.
Do you think you were ever too humble and quiet? Your family, your dad just taught y'all to
be.
He just taught y'all to be just humble, quiet.
Yeah.
Go about your business.
Definitely.
So talk to me about that. You think that had a lot to do with it?
Yeah, a lot to do. Because so my senior year, I made first team all state, first team all day. I didn't play in the game.
Yeah.
So if you think about like at that moment, like why, like how did something like that happen? So that year, they decided to do a voting of who played instead of just going based off the list.
Okay.
So me, I'm just in my little, I guess, chill mode, like it'll work itself out. But I should have been on the one on the field, like you know what I'm saying? Just making more of a statement for myself.
Right.
Or, whether that was Pops coming out there raising hell, even though that ain't his character, or even the coaches, man. My coaches should have also stood up in that moment because they was practicing at our field for all day.
Yeah?
Yeah. So I'm like, But
so
the
rewind it again. You made All-State.
First team All-State.
And
first team all day.
But did not
play in a day game. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. So like,
that don't even make sense.
It don't. And that's something in hindsight I always think about the humbleness in me. Pops always just told me, man, just it'll come to you. You ain't gotta say much. You ain't gotta do much. But those moments in life.
But you still like we ain't going out like that though. You still that dude. Yeah, even in trading, you that dude. Even in the music, you still. But we ain't going out like that. We finna screen because we have platforms to screen. Right. And that's why you here. You know what I'm saying? So you get the ball, finally. What you think the coaches saw in practice before game one? They was like, holy shit, we had.
Well, at that point, all the coaches was gone. So
talk to me. Who was your coaches before and then what happened?
We had Coach Max, Coach Daniels. We had Teddy Lockett. We had Coach Horace Morris.
We told this story before, huh?
No, I haven't.
No, not with you though, but so Teddy Lockett was the head coach? Who was the head coach?
Nah, head coach that year, Coach Smith.
And what happened?
Coach Smith?
Smith, what happened? Yeah. What happened to him?
Nah, he was still there.
But when they left.
Oh, when they left, so that's when, Telly got promoted to offensive coordinator. Who we had on defensive coordinator?
Who was the head coach then when Smith left?
After Smith left, damn.
Why did they leave though? What happened?
It was the, Antoine.
Oh, right, that's what I'm thinking.
But that was after me though.
Right, I'm thinking that so the whole Antoine Easterling, you was in the middle of it.
Right.
The whole Antoine Easterling thing, coaches get fired.
Right.
Basketball coach, volleyball coach, my homeboys got fired, everybody gets fired, and now you a part of Billy Roll.
Not me.
Talk to me. So
the West was.
The West was.
I was still with Coach Smith.
You were still with Smith?
Yeah. So Coach Smith was pretty much the moment I got there up until 2007.
Okay.
That first state championship.
Yeah.
And then the 2008 year when they had the national game, that was Billy Rowland.
Got you.
Yeah.
So as a junior, let me clear this up.
Yeah.
Your head coach was your offensive coordinator was who?
Coach Daniels.
And as a senior, it was who?
Teddy Lockett.
It was Teddy Lockett.
Yeah.
And Perk and all of them.
Perk, quarterback coach.
Yeah. And all of them was there. Did they come in and change the offense?
It was similar schemes, but it was more so we had classroom time now. So you ain't just go out and go to practice.
So talk to me, but what y'all did in the class?
Basically, it was learning the whole scheme. So you got to know what the offensive lineman doing on this run play, this pass blocking scheme, etc. You got to know where your running back going. You got to know where the D tackle is lined up at, where the nose guard is, where the safeties are. So those are the intangibles that we had to learn.
With all the quarterbacks?
The whole offense.
Oh, the whole offense.
They're in the center up there. Hey, we running 32 ISO. Who you got? Who the linebacker responsible for? Who the receiver got? Things like that. You had to know it.
What if you didn't know it?
You ain't playing.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. Even before games, like Coach Perker hand us a test. You had to pass a test. before you touch that field.
We heard this before, right?
Yeah. Corey told me that.
Yeah, right. Listen. So you had to. So tell me this, because we seem to think that kids from the inner city can't think. That's what they say. I'm sure there's people in the room that didn't get it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But most of y'all got it.
Yeah.
Why? Do you know why?
Repetition, experience, things like that.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying when it goes back to coaching.
Yeah.
Leadership. You understand? When the kid don't get something, I like 5-6 years ago, I told myself I ain't blaming kids no more. I'm blaming the adults in the room.
Right.
And when the adults in the room start blaming the kids, fuck him too. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
and that's how I look at it. Cause shit rolled downhill. So in a room full of inner city kids, some coming from broken homes, some ain't eat last night.
Circumstantial, yeah. Right.
Chris Perk, Telly Lockett, and that staff was able to get those kids to understand, listen, bro, it's going to be cerebral or you ain't going to be on our field.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's leadership. That's what coaching is. That's the part that people can't see, right? So they just blame the dude that's running around fumbling the ball with his name on the back.
Right.
And that's what I be trying to say. And that's coming from guys who work full-time jobs, get off, and they're just passionate about some shit.
Right.
Because Chris Perk, he's been coaching college since then, basically since then.
Last couple of years, yeah.
Telly Lockett, college coach.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Geniuses just in the hood waiting for their chance.
Right.
I mean, so that's impressive, dog. Have you ever been in the room? Was it like that in college?
It was. We did have, a lot of film sessions. We didn't have tests.
Yeah.
And even when because I coached 1 year after I graduated.
Yeah.
It was more so the coaches broke down the scheme and tried to put the players in the right place.
Right.
Yeah. But like as far as taking tests and doing the extra work, that's something that you had to do on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In college.
In college.
You have to want it.
You gotta have the intangibles.
Right.
Yeah.
So y'all going to that season, first game against who? You remember?
Booker T.
Booker T? And this is Booker T, Brandon Harris, Ice Harris, Booker T. This ain't Booker T that just got put on the clock by Gulliver. Like, this is Booker T. How did that win? How the game went?
We ended up winning. It was a tough game, man. So I remember the first play, coach was like, man, we just gonna go over the top. So first play, I threw an interception. Hey, but it was one of them routes where it was a deep ball. Ball was perfectly thrown, but I think it was Chavez Grant intercepted that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who used to play at Miami. Yeah.
First pass interception. You came to the sideline. You thinking what?
It's gonna be a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, because like I said, everything I read was perfect. You know what I'm saying? The route was there. The defense was there. My drop back was there. Ball was perfect.
Right.
It's interception.
What they did with you in the classroom, when you got to the field, did it make it that much easier?
Yeah.
How much easier? Did you sometimes look at the defense and was like, oh, this is bullshit? Like, what are they doing?
If you ever speak to any of my teammates, I always had this phrase. I'd be like, yo, we good. And they knew EJ had it under control. You know what I'm saying? Right. It just made it easy. Like, if you think about Coach Perk then would call an initial play from the sideline. So at that point, you got 25 seconds. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm going through my little, pre-snap reads, okay. 2 safeties, 1. So then at that point, now I'm reading what the play is, and I still got time to make the change. Right. So I'm actually going to put up some of my old highlights on YouTube so people can see how I was managing those games. But, man, made it 100% easier.
Yeah? Hey, Twan, he got old highlights. You see that? All right, we're going to highlight them. So how did this season go?
It was a rough season, man, because we had 2 hurricanes. So if you think about momentum.
What hurricanes was this?
We had
smaller hurricane.
So we had Katrina that kind of passed by us. So with that big rain, so we was out for a week or 2 weeks maybe, and then we had another one that hit like Tampa. So
Wilma.
Yeah. So we didn't play 2 games. So if you think about when we was rolling that as far as a team with momentum, hurricane hit.
Yeah.
We got another going, hurricane hit.
Yeah.
So then, granted, we made it to the state semis, but if you think about like teams that win and how they gain their momentum, like you need full seasons. You know, you need to know what it's like to be under this game condition and you know, make adjustments. So.
Can you remember, did the hurricanes affect all of Florida or just South Florida?
I think mainly South Florida.
Yeah, because were they still up there?
They were still up there playing. Yeah, because I remember when we played. Well, if we would have played Palm Beach Gardens, I think going into state, I think they was like 13-1 or something like that. Yeah, which is a 15-game season.
Right.
Yeah.
You sitting there, y'all skipping games your last season. You done waited your senior season to play. What you was thinking? You was thinking, have you ever thought that you made a mistake? Like, man, I just put all my chips in. And now here go God. Now look at God. Katrina.
I mean, I in hindsight, I wish I was able to get another year. Because, I mean, when I graduated, I was 17. So I didn't turn 18 until I got to college.
Right.
But, yeah, it was tough, man. Yeah. Just using what I had to try to get to the next level.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, you go to high school in 2021, man. We could have kept you in 8th grade 2 times. Man, we doing all type of shady shit now in football. Listen, man, you just stay back, all type of
stay back one more year. It would
right.
Different. Yeah.
So I think I remember coming down here. I was home one weekend from the military, and I got to see you play against. I think it was the first playoff game, Homestead. Y'all was way down.
Yeah, we were down at FIU. Yeah.
Y'all beat them bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your best game in high school?
Probably that South Miami game.
Yeah, that was South Miami that night.
Yeah.
You remember the stats?
Something like 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I had 1 rushing touchdown too. If I can recall properly, but yeah.
Bro, listen. All I remember is being in them stands and hearing with Uncle Junior, hearing the crowd. Mm-hmm. Talk shit about you. And it's not that y'all was losing, it's just that they hiked the ball.
Right.
They used to be telling you to hike the ball, but you was doing what?
I was doing exactly what I was Lil Manning, as I say. Like, if you think about the way Manning would wait to that...
Peyton Manning.
Wait to that clock hit like 2 or 1 to hike the ball because he wanted to make sure we was in the right position to be successful. And remember, at that point, no offense in South Florida has seen anything like that.
Like what? Explain to me what you're talking about. What did they see?
With the pre-snap progression, so knowing who I'm reading and me calling on play or making the audible. No offense has ever done that before.
No?
Just go back in history and look at it. Even when I went to the Western Central game the other day, the first game, I was on the sideline after I met with all the coaches. Chop, Smith, all of them. Max was like, this the first one who started this spread offense out here at Dade County. You know what I'm saying? In front of everybody. So, like, nobody have ever seen that before.
Where did the spread come from? Did it come from, well, we don't lie up here now.
The spread been around.
It's been
around.
But
the way that I perfected the spread was never like that.
Right. What I'm saying is we had to see somebody do it. I remember seeing San Francisco 49ers do it, but it had been around.
Right.
They took it, because I saw the history of it. The HBCUs had been doing it. Right. 5 wide receivers. But it trickled down to high school that year, you're saying. And you just happened to be there and able to...
Well, like I said, we was already running spread. Mm-hmm. But I'm talking about as far as putting the play calling in my hands.
Yeah.
The West have never done that.
Still sometimes quarterbacks don't call.
Yeah, and even like if you see them now, they call a play, they look to the side. And then the coach call a play again, then they run a play.
To that's what to you? You say what? Because this is 19... We're talking about
2006. Yeah.
And you see that and you say what? Do you see that as pacifying or do you see that as not trusting?
It's twofold. So sometimes it be not trusting, but sometimes it just be they like what they see from up top.
Right. To
call that play to run it now. So it's just different ways. But when you get to the NFL level, it's no more looking to the side. You already got to know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
College too, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Right. But colleges do the same thing. They look to the side. So if you think about some players who get to the NFL and they can't read properly,
right?
Pacifying.
Right, pacifying. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I don't. At what point did they knew they could trust you, or it was more so like you're going to do it this way? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you was calling plays from game one?
From game one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, so we had all the spring, all the summer, we went up to South Florida and we did a little camps and whatnot.
Right.
So from that point, they knew that they could trust me.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Listen up. If you listen to Elon and you put your money in Deuce Coin and it went down, then you came back and you put your money in Shiba, the other dog coin, and now it went down, it's because you don't know what you're doing. Investor Die, IOD Squad. We've created a platform where you can just come watch what we do, and if you feel like it, you could copy it. It's on you. IOD Squad, man. Click the link in the description or whatever it is. Come get on the platform, and you can just see what we do and stop putting your money in things and they go down. So the reason I'm going so elaborate into this, because what happened after you at Northwestern is what everybody remembers.
Yeah.
It's what the nation remembers.
Right.
And that was Jacory Harris walks on the field. Mm-hmm. Tommy Streeter, Easterling,
right.
Tompkins,
right.
O'Darius Johnson,
right.
and takes the nation by storm.
Right.
And it's crazy how timing works in life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was one of the first times I can believe watching a team travel to Texas, play on ESPN. Now, I may be wrong, but in my mind, I hadn't really seen it happen often. Travel to Texas, beat the death out these people, you know what I'm saying? And that team goes down to Northwestern as 2 years of some of the greatest times ever at Northwestern.
Right.
But the birth of it was from, and this is how real it is. Everybody I talk to, give credit to my cubs. Mm-hmm. EJ started it. Mm-hmm. Jacory had the privilege of sitting and watching it.
Right.
No different than Aaron Rodgers. Mm-hmm. No different than, we can name after name. Right. You sit and you get to watch it and you learn from it. And that's why I'm elaborating on it, because who created it though? Was it Perk and Telly?
Yeah, Perk and Telly for
together.
Sure. Yeah.
And
that collab right there.
You know Perk was my high school quarterback.
Yeah.
Perk was my high school quarterback, and I'm sure Osborne did not have him in the room. I'm sure Osborne did not have him in the room doing study. No, Perk team was super talented. Couldn't get out the second round of playoffs. Yeah. So Jacory Harrison comes on and takes the world by storm, and then you go on to JUCO.
No, first I actually went to a NAIA school. Mm-hmm. I didn't get recruited heavily. So.
Right.
So I had to go that route first. And this was a first year program. So my first year at the school, there was no football team.
Right.
So.
And you was there to play football?
Yeah. Yeah. So it was like one of them. We paid 50% of your scholarship. The other part you got to come up with. Right. So, and at that point, I just was ready to leave Miami, man. Especially after having the season that I had. First team All-State all day. I only had 2 interceptions for the entire year. Things like that. Right. So I just felt like, I need to be somewhere. Right. Now, if I had somebody who did it before me and would have told me, hey, go to a prep school. Keep your eligibility. Right. And then go to D1.
Right.
Whatever. So it would have been different.
So you went to NAIA school. Did you ever get on the field there?
Yeah. So first year, I went there to play receiver. Quarterback threw 5 interceptions first game. Right. They threw me at quarterback. Same thing when I went to JUCO to get recruited over. I went there to play receiver, kick return. Quarterback threw 4 interceptions first game. They threw me at quarterback.
At the NIA, is that when you called me? When I was in the military, you called me and you was like, hey, Daryl, hey, listen, they said I can play quarterback or I can play wide receiver. Mm-hmm. And your thought process was, I'm not going to be a quarterback. Right. I want to get my shot at wide receiver. Right. And what I told you?
Man, keep that ball in your hands every play. Right. Every single play.
Because the way I looked at it was that you was being humble, trying not to be selfish. And I'm saying, listen, man, now it's business. Right. And you sometimes in life have to be selfish every now and then. Right. One thing for sure at quarterback, that ball gets hiked from the center. 2 people touch the ball. Center and the quarterback. Right. From that point forward, you can either make your wide receivers better, you can show them you can run the ball, but you had a chance, an opportunity to touch the ball every play. And I told them just to stay at quarterback, and you went on to do what?
Play quarterback and kick return.
Right. And you put the ball in your hand. Yeah. Because my philosophy was that, listen, man, they can look at you and see your athleticism. Right. long you just need the ball in your hand.
Yeah.
Last thing you want to be is that wide receiver with a goofy ass quarterback that can't get you the ball.
Right.
So from Pasadena, you set that on fire. You got any records up there? They got your statue up there anywhere? Anything?
I don't know if they do. I just know they got the bowl game stat on there. Caught them for the longest touchdown in history.
Yeah.
That was like 93 yards, something like that. But other than that, I don't know if they got any. I haven't been back there since I left. Like, I go to LA, but I don't go to Pasadena.
You in Pasadena, you crossed the country, right? And you were still able to implement the things you learned. Well, you get credit back. That goes back to Northwestern. Huh?
Yeah, for sure.
Back in Northwestern, your dad, back to you being able to think.
Right.
So now we in college, and we still going back to the high school is where that stuff was engraved. Did it still look easy when you would walk to the line? Could you still see it?
No lie, it was a little different.
Yeah.
Because if you think about now when you get to college, now people are running 3-3-5s. So the way that you got to count the defense is a little bit different, you know?
Yeah.
So you got to look at who's the actual 3-down lineman, who's a stand-up linebacker or end as they call it, and then find the mic. Right. So it took a little bit longer in the progression, which is why they give you 35 seconds in college, you know? So
cool. So talk to these kids, these little goofy kids, because they don't. So in college you start seeing 3-down linemen, 3 linebackers. But it was hard to decipher who the linebackers, who the strong safety was. It was hard to decipher.
Right.
So you saying you would have to find who?
The Mike linebacker first.
You would have to find who's the middle linebacker?
Yeah.
How would you find? You send a running back in motion or something?
Normally we'll send a slot person in motion. First to see if they in zone them in.
Right.
And then from there you look at the safeties. And then you find the mic.
Did they give you the play calling ability in college?
Kinda, but I won't say I changed the plays as often as I did at the West.
Yeah.
But they kind of gave me the helm. Yeah.
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 Was your coaches white?
Yeah.
Did they trust you?
Yeah, they trust me. I mean, I was still at kick return, so they had to trust me too.
They had you at kick return.
Kick return, quarterback, man. Yeah. Because remember, I went there to play receiver.
Right.
Receiver and kick return. And at that point, same way how I got to the West, when I tried to go out there to the JUCO, I came there mid-summer. They already had their team.
Right.
So they put me out there, and I took the first kick return to the house. And it was like, oh, this guy's serious.
Right.
So then eventually, I was like 4th on the depth chart at receiver. So what you said to me was in my head, like, damn, I don't know if I'm going to get this ball in off. Yeah. So then, like I said, with the quarterback throwing the 4 interceptions that first game, all the people because we had a lot of people from Miami at that point, at that JUCO. They were like, man, put EJ at quarterback.
Yeah, Mac, who else?
Matt, we had a dude named Stokely. He played at Jackson. We had Dixon. He played at Killian.
Yeah.
He played with what's the running back name, man? Went to the U.
Oh, his son is at Killian 9, eating it up.
Who we talking about? But what's his name?
Oh no, you talking about the running back went to the Texans.
Yeah, most people knew what my skill set was, so coaches trusted him. I knew the offense. We almost came back and won that first game, even though we was down. But yeah, from then on, we went on like a 5-6 game winning streak. And then we made it to the bowl game. We didn't make it to the actual playoffs of the JUCO, but yeah, we made it to the bowl game.
You caught any passes in that game? He threw them 4 interceptions.
Maybe one.
Was it him?
Yeah, it was him.
Yeah, it had to be him, right?
Yeah, maybe one though.
Yeah. Black kid, white kid.
White kid.
Yeah. He's afraid.
Nah, just probably didn't know how to read the defense.
What percentage of quarterbacks you think can actually read the defense in college football? If you had to guess.
I say about 40%.
40% of them?
Yeah.
What are the other 60% doing? What are they doing? Listen to
the sideline? They're managing the game. That's
Coach telling them who to throw the ball to?
I mean, they still know who to read as far as what play they're running. But if you think about it, most times if they throw an interception or something like that,
Go ahead.
it's because they didn't know what defense that person might have been in or that team.
So you said like 60%?
Nah, 40%.
40%.
40%. Yeah.
So you set all the records, and then you got a chance to go D1.
Right.
What schools you had on the hook?
San Diego State and University of Kentucky.
San Diego State and Kentucky.
Yeah. Hindsight should have went to San Diego State.
Why?
They had more of a offensive scheme that would have fit me as a receiver.
Why you went to Kentucky?
SEC.
Who was recruiting? What's the name was in here somewhere now? The Tennessee quarterback, right? Wasn't he?
Tennessee. Oh, T. Martin.
T. Martin.
He came.
He was involved somehow. I really remember.
Yeah, he came. Yeah, actually, he came that first year I was there.
He was.
Yeah.
So he came to Kentucky.
Yeah.
When you got to Kentucky, was it SEC, big time football, yada yada yada? Was it different?
Yeah, it was different.
Yeah.
Speed was very different. Yeah.
I remember watching the game, watching this man, hoping this man get in the game, man. He just had a good practice, man.
Nah, I ain't get it. Like I said, I remember all week, man, we practiced this, I guess, receiver reverse pass. Because after practice, we just throw the ball to each other.
Right.
And one week they was like, hey, we gonna run this with you. So all week I'm practicing that play. Game time they gave it to somebody else, dog. I was like, yeah. And that's when I was done, man. I actually had
You was done with football?
Just mentally with the school, with football. I actually had a couple of arguments with Jacory Phillips. He was our
Joker Phillips was offensive coordinator?
And then a
couple of arguments?
Yeah.
If it was a transfer portal there, you would have been in it?
Yeah.
You also had an NFL star on your team too, right?
Yeah, Randall Cobb, man.
Randall Cobb was our Rambo fool. Randall Cobb got every opportunity.
Every opportunity.
He was good. How good was Randall Cobb?
He was real good because he played quarterback too as well in high school. So if you think about knowing where the defense is gonna be at based on a certain coverage, you know how to get open.
Yeah.
You know how to get open. And see, me, it was a little bit hard of a transition, especially at D1 trying to play receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I ain't gonna lie, the first couple of practices, boy, I got jammed up.
What you mean?
I jammed, I couldn't get off the line.
How much did you weigh?
165.
You was 5 what?
5'8". Same height I am now, I feel like.
You got jammed. You remember who jammed you up?
Dude named Randall Burton. We call him Bird.
You talking shit?
Nah, I ain't talking shit.
Nah. How long were you there?
2 years.
At some point, did you feel you were good enough to get on the field and make a play?
Well, I mean, we had mediocre teams, so yeah.
Yeah?
I felt like, yeah.
You feel if you gave you the opportunity, you could have did something?
I could damn sure catch a ball and, in space and do something for sure.
But they didn't give you an opportunity. Why do you think?
Could have been size,
yeah.
Because most of the receivers at that time, because even Randall Cobb, he like 5'11", you know what I'm saying? Most receivers that we had was at least 5'11", 180, 190.
Right.
Yeah.
So the game has just changed now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think the Patriots, Tom Brady, short passes.
With Wes Welker, changed the game.
Yeah, the game has changed, but the game hasn't changed. That's the crazy part. It's just somebody's willing to do something different.
Right.
Yeah, it's still 11 on 11.
Mm-hmm.
You still can get a linebacker in the room. It's just who's willing to do something different. Right. And then once you see it, you're like, oh, Tyreek Hill, we can copy that. You know what I'm saying? Or so frustration kicks in, and then you graduate, and you end up coaching. But
yeah, I coached.
Coach said something to you though. I remember you telling me the coach said something to you after you graduate, and then he gave you like an AD job. I mean, put you on the staff, right?
Yeah, I forgot what he might have said to me though. Yeah.
I remember your dad telling me that the coach kind of just apologized to you, told you that you could have had a shot.
Yeah, I could have had a shot.
Right.
For sure.
And then he put you on the staff.
Right.
How long you stay on the staff?
Just 1 year.
And then you start making music, right?
Yeah.
Tell people they can find music at, bro.
I mean, it's on Apple Music. Karnell, Karnel. Spotify. Actually, it's on all streaming platforms. So, yeah, it's out there.
But you hooked up with some dudes in Kentucky?
Yeah, we had a initial group called Harvard Drive, and then initially, a lot of people branched off. They moved to Cali. I moved back to Miami, and I mean, we still do our thing together. But I'm more so on the solo tip.
It's on YouTube. It's on everything.
Yeah, you can find it everywhere.
Yeah. What would they type in YouTube on search to find it? What's the coolest song you got?
Coolest song, man. I would go Karnel, like I said, Karnel. I would do Off-White.
Off-White?
Yeah.
Why you start rapping?
Man, that's a deep story. So we had a dude named Snake the Great, as we called him, and he was somebody I listened to before every high school football game.
I remember Snake. Snake was a rapper, right?
Rapper, football player, yeah. So he was my motivation. He kept me, to be honest, off the streets, because everybody got their little circles that they could be a part of.
Right.
But you know, he was just getting started. He was getting songs with Rick Ross, beats from Cool and Dre, all them people. And you know, tragic accident in South Carolina, he got killed. And you know, I needed another passion to look forward to. Yeah. So music kind of stepped in place.
Yeah. You still make music?
Yeah. Making music, making instrumentals now too. So just trying to go a little bit deeper into just the whole music industry.
You actually making beats, you saying?
Yeah.
How you make beats now? Because I used to have a Tri-N. I used to be banging the MPC. I don't think that's not how they...
Nah, I mean, I got one of those, but through the iPad most days.
Really?
Yeah.
It's the iPad now?
Yeah.
What's some of the apps called?
GarageBand on the iPad. But if you're using like the Mac, I use Logic Pro.
So GarageBand is official
It's
now.
official.
Kind of like when I first heard Fruity Loops, and I was like, I'm not making beats on something called Fruity, and then that ended up being industry standard.
That was it.
Yeah, it ended up being like the industry standard and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So the music thing, how long has it been on the music thing now?
Shoot, I started 2011 to really take it serious. I started in 15. So I mean, overall, let's just say 10 years. This that moment.
10 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you found IOD Squad trading.
Right.
You started trading, and you didn't start out. You started on your own. You know what
I
mean? You started on your own. Ain't walking into it or nothing.
Yeah.
You started trading on your own. And what has trading taught you about money, though?
Well, like I say, time is money. So, you know, I still have my 9-to-5 job right now.
Right.
And I think a lot about how much time is wasted there most times. And don't get me wrong, you need a 9-to-5 to start some type of funding. And that's how I got started. I had a pretty decent sized savings account. You know what I'm saying? Almost touching 6 figures.
Right.
And I was able to now trade options. Like around the AMC GME thing.
Right.
One of my friends was like, oh, somebody just hit for 600 grand. I'm like, how? How you hit for 600 grand? She must have had so many shares. She was like, nah, options trading. Yeah. So then I jumped in, started doing my research, and realized, one contract is 100 shares. You choose the direction of the stock, etc. And I jumped in. First play, I made like 2,800 in like 30 seconds.
And you put up how much?
I put like $3 grand. So I pretty much almost 100% my money, right?
100% is money. Percentages.
Yeah.
It's
all about percentages.
It's not about percentages.
Yeah.
So, and then that showed you what?
Honestly, like, you can have your money make money for you.
Yeah.
You don't have to spend your time at one place to just make this a living. Right. You'll never get rich at your job.
Nah,
never
get rich at your job.
Yeah.
You have done a lot of studying.
Mm-hmm.
I get
and I'm still studying, man, because it's always a different market.
How long have you been trading?
I started in March.
Right.
Yeah.
So talk to the people. Like, what kind of studying are you doing? Are these 3 o'clock in the morning? Because you know details of trading options.
Yeah.
Like you know things about options I don't know. Mm-hmm. I know how to look at a chart, and I know how to make an option trade. I know what it is. I know it had to be a bunch of white people who wanted to make more money in stocks one day, and they created options.
Right.
I can see that. I go to him. Pick up the phone and call him when I want to know details about options. Would you say everything about options?
Nah, not everything. Yeah, it's a lot. I know 70% of it.
You know a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I tell you all the time, you talk about it in a way that I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. If you could explain it to somebody who has no clue and has a bunch of money, what would you tell them?
Yeah. So basically, you're trading the direction of a stock. So if you're bullish on the stock, meaning you like the stock to go up, you're gonna do a call. If you feel like the stock is in a downturn, you're gonna do a put. Mm-hmm. Typically, the thing that I'm learning now, you want to buy time on your contract. When I first started trading, I was buying them weeklies, man, and I was hitting, but then I get burnt. I was hitting, and I get burnt. But now I like to buy my contracts like 3 months out.
Patience. And
it's almost like a sense of investing because I'm not so pressured on watching that money or the little movements in the stock.
Right.
If you think about this week with Apple, they got the Apple Car rumor. That thing jumped from 146 to 161.
Everybody say rumor, an Apple Car. Now, think about what we're talking about. Everybody got Apple phones. And like you told me last week, listen, it only makes sense.
Right.
That they're gonna take. You can't just keep doing phones. They're gonna take the phone to the car, and you'll have an Apple car. Would it have an apple on the side? A little rainbow apple on the side?
Hopefully. Not a rainbow, but like one of them illuminated apples on the front. You know what I'm saying?
We don't even see the rainbow apple no more though.
It need to come out like is it the Maybach that comes out?
Right. So options trading, you buy 100 contracts.
Now I buy one contract, which is 100 shares.
There it is.
Yeah.
One contract, which is 100 shares.
Mm-hmm.
When you think about options, all the lingo that they use, which scares us, a call, a put. Why? Like, why are they naming these things? Give me your philosophy on it. Because it's confusing.
It's confusing. And the easiest way for me to break it down was, if I'm going to call somebody, I'm picking up the phone to call. Right. So that's my analogy if I'm ever explaining to somebody. If I'm ending the call, I'm putting it down. Right? So that was the initial analogy that if I'm trying to explain it to anybody.
Right. If you explain it.
Yeah.
But we don't know why they do.
Right.
We don't know why they tell us the market crashing on TV all the time. And and it's not crashing. It is going down so you can buy more.
Right.
But they say crash and it just scares everybody who has no clue what they're talking about. If you learn trading options, right, it's hard to just put your money in a stock, ain't it?
It is. Because think about it. If I had $1,000 right now, I can only buy about 7 shares, maybe 6 shares of Apple. Mm-hmm. And if Apple go tomorrow from 161 to 163, 2 times 7 is only $14.
Yeah.
But if I take that same 1,000 and I can buy 4 contracts with Apple, now you got 400 shares.
Right.
So a 1% move in that stock price is 20% of your money.
Right.
So if I put 1,000 down, 20% is 200.
Yeah.
And if you think most days, a $200 gain in a day, that's $25 an hour on the job.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can make that in the first 30 minutes of the market.
You can. You can. We get on the phone all the time. But like, you in, you out. You out. You in.
You gotta have your exit. You gotta have an exit.
Yeah. No, all the time. If you're talking to somebody that just started investing, right? Mm-hmm. Would you? Because you started with options.
Yeah.
But it's just because the mentor, the guy you was following, that's how you learned.
Yeah.
I didn't learn that stuff till a year later, man. When I saw you doing it, I kind of like started walking down that path. But I didn't really pay attention to the year later. Would you suggest somebody start trading options, or you suggest them just start trading?
Well, I would, but first and foremost, I would say buy at least 1 or 2 shares in that company so you can understand the movement of that company.
Of the stock.
Yeah.
Right.
So like typically if I'm gonna trade Tesla, which is one of the most volatile stocks, I need to know if they can move 5-6% in a day or not. Because you can get burnt in options if you don't know the movement. Right. So I advise to at least buy a share first, and then you can buy the options.
Elon Musk said he thinks basically options and hedge funds. He thinks it's BS. Like how am I buying contracts that I don't have? You know what I'm saying? How am I buying a stock that I don't have? How would you explain that contract part to people? You're buying contracts on a stock. What is that? So basically, you're buying. Okay, so if I own 100 shares of Apple, I can lease, like you lease a car or you lease a phone nowadays. I can lease my options. I mean my stock to someone. Now, me as the leaser, I'm against you. Right. So if I feel like the stock is going to go up, I'm gonna put it at a lower put option, basically. So I'm a seller put, basically. Right. So the other person on the other side is gonna, buy a call. Yeah. So in this instance, the stocks are out there. It's not like you're just buying. It's not like you're getting a student loan. That money just comes from nowhere. It's supposed to be real. They're real stocks. They're out there. You're leasing the stocks from somebody. Right. So it's a legal form of gambling. I mean, even though gambling is legal now, but it's the true legal form of gambling. It's a legal form of gambling. What's the difference between us betting on the Dolphins in 30 minutes and us investing? Well, investing, you got time. You're still dealing with emotions, but you got time on those emotions. A Dolphin game, man, player could decide not to go hard on this one or two plays, and you done lost your whole bet. It's only a win or a loss. Options, you can take percentage losses and then make up the percentage wins on the back end. we use the word betting as a form of betting. But I think when you're investing, we have way more information.
Right.
To go for.
Right.
And you're right. We ain't betting on Pookie, who might be betting on against his team today anyway, because he know his coach. Right. You have way more information to go off of. Way more. Listen, man. There's no way Apple is going down to blah 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 because I've been watching it for a year and a half.
Right. Chart.
And it's never touched that before.
Right.
Yeah. So way more information. So this ILD squad. So what's the name on ILD squad, man? Elevate Nation. I look at it all the time and I be like, I wonder if he's trying to say E-Live.
It's E-Live in action because
Yes.
I took that from my Instagram. But you know, on Discord they give you like a name with numbers at the end. Yeah. So, but
that's it. E-Live in action.
Yeah.
But I just didn't know which words you were putting together. You know what I'm saying? So it's E-Live. I didn't know if it was L-I-V. I didn't know what you were trying to say.
E-Live in action.
So E-Live in action. He's on the Discord and on the ILD squad, and we're going to eventually make. Well, we have an options room. But we're eventually going to get more elaborate because the people see us making money with options, and now they start saying, what's an option? And I'm like, shit, I don't know if I want them to be taking that chance if they don't really know how. So we're going to let you eventually take control of that.
Okay.
And people understanding. Anything else you want to say to the people, man, to kids, man? I would just want to say you this is because, man, you have patience. Mm-hmm. You said something in this interview about patience and reading defenses and not rushing to snap the ball, right?
Right.
Now, as an adult, we've crossed paths again, and you're trading, and it takes patience, and it takes you looking at something and saying, nah. I know what it's trying to show me, but that ain't what it is. Like Roblox.
Right.
Everybody jumps in Roblox, market opens, and it goes backwards, and I tell you. Nah, dog. You finna double down on this. It's not right. You know what I'm saying? Right. But you learned that in sports. And that's what I want people to understand about sports. Sports is not about going to the league. Nobody makes it to the league. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you look at it the way nobody makes it to the league. There's a couple of them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can name a handful of them, but you've seen how many great players.
Right.
Tons of them. Sports is about working together as a team, learning these life lessons that it forces you to learn, dealing with adversity, and now in life, you're able to use those skills you learn and apply it to trading. Right. And I think that's what sports does for more people than getting them drafted and millions of dollars. Right. If you got something to say to the kids, man, there's a kid right now thinking about jumping in the transfer portal, and I know you don't know his situation, but any of them, just period, because that patience that you did at Northwestern, just sat down, waited your chance. What would you say to these kids out here? Because they have a lot of options, bro. They do. Yeah. What would you say to them?
I mean, most important thing, man, I say is experience first and foremost. Make sure you get that. And then reach out to folks who have done it before you. Like I said earlier, for me, if somebody within the family would already have went to college and experienced this and been able to lay out some type of platform for me to follow, it would have changed the game for me. So I know a lot of us nowadays have ego and we see a lot of different things on social media and we try to have those 100% days or try to just, get it done like within a day or so. But you need the experience and you got to reach out to those who've done it before. Got to.
There it is. All right, man. EJ, Crib Talk. Y'all make sure y'all like, share, comment. You got a question for him, man? Put it in the comment. I'll ask him for y'all. We out.
Peace.
This thing is fire, man. Check it out. But you can only get it from liquorsplit.com. Check the link in the description, man. Edge Energy drink, dog.